I can't believe it. It's been Agatha all along. Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Today guys, of course, we are checking out the newest episode of WandaVision. Yes, finally, a new episode of WandaVision. Season 1, Episode 8, Previously On. I like this title a lot because once again, it refers back to not even just sitcoms, but a lot of shows in general where they have a Previously On WandaVision, which they do within this show, which I actually saw this on TikTok, and it's crazy because there's a lot of people on TikTok and stuff just talking about WandaVision as well, of course on YouTube and everything else. But someone pointed out on TikTok, and maybe it's been pointed out somewhere else as well, where every single time Wanda goes previously on WandaVision, her voice keeps changing. Like, it's like she's getting more and more tired as the episodes progress. So if you like listen to all the previously on WandaVisions back to back to back to back to back in like this TikTok video, it sounds like she's getting more and more tired as she's saying previously on WandaVision, and then previously on WandaVision. Now, maybe it's due to the sitcoms where they're not as upbeat and crazy and stuff in terms of like, you know, early on, everything is so upbeat and nice and everything. Maybe that it is, but it just, to me, it just sounded like she's getting a little bit more tired as she's like holding out on this reality and trying to, you know, keep it alive essentially, and it's falling apart. Agnes, of course, was revealed in the last episode. Agatha all along, Agatha Harkness. And then she did something where we saw like this blue-purple effect on Wanda, and then it cuts to that song. Everybody's listening to this fucking song. Everybody's talking and like humming and singing this fucking song. It's been Agatha all along. It's 5:30 in the fucking morning, so apologies if I sound like shit. But yeah, I'm here to check this fucking episode out because I'm excited as hell to see what they do because, man, they are killing it. They are fucking killing it with this show. And it gets me more and more excited for what is in store for the future of the MCU shows in terms of Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, all these shows, She-Hulk, that they're, because like they're all going to be different tones, but if they're able to do this as their first outing, what in the hell are they going to do in terms of blowing our minds with the other shows? And I know they will, because Marvel, at least to me, has always delivered something interesting, and man, I'm really invested, and I love this fucking show. I figured I would on some level, but obviously, who knows, it could have been shit. This show's killing it. So, previously on, not really sure what the title's referring to, but I'm curious. I am curious. Because it seemed as well, and we had that mid-credit scene where we had Quicksilver confront Monica Rambeau, who's in the Hex still. So I'm curious to see what's up with that. So maybe we'll get an answer to whatever happened with that little scene there. So yeah, let's try that again. My voice was starting to go right there because it's too fucking early in the morning. Episode 8, previously on WandaVision. Let's go. Oh, I like that. The purple. What? Salem.
Are you a witch?
Maybe.
Yes. You practice the darkest of magic. I know nothing of these crimes. I swear.
That's where she gets that. And I guess Agatha Harkness is bored.
My thoughts are not available to you, Toots. They never
Toots.
were.
This is
Don't go
good.
giving your... Didn't you notice? Basic protection spell? One in each wall? No?
Okay.
Nothing?
Those symbols.
These are runes. Necromancy was a non-starter since your real brother's body is on another continent. Not to mention
Okay.
full of holes.
There you go. There's the answer to fake Pietro.
What's your secret, sister?
I want to know.
Listen. What was it you said to your not brother?
Not brother.
But it's time to look at some real reruns.
Okay. The sitcoms. And this is deconfirming the theory the commercials were her parents. Interesting to have this as a part of her history, and that makes sense why the sitcoms are a thing now, why she built the reality the way she did. You really see how she really just took from what she saw and made it. Holy shit. Fuck.
The only way forward is back.
Hydra. Oh man.
Join an anti-freedom terrorist organization. We wanted to change the world.
Sounds kind of like Ultron, the way she said that. Like, the footage, just her walking in, then she falls. All that stuff in the middle with the stone is gone.
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
I need more.
Of course.
So where are we now? The Avengers compound?
I figured they were.
I've always been alone, so I don't feel the lack. That's all I've ever known.
Well, you're unique. So.
I know you have him.
I'm sorry, but like I said,
Please. Who are you?
Director Tyler Hayward.
So they actually meet.
To see the vision, to recover the body.
She's starting to realize that's Vision.
I just want to marry him. That's all I want.
Be sure.
Excuse me.
Not everyone has the kind of power that can bring their soulmate back online.
I can't feel you.
New Jersey. But she didn't take the body. Westview. They had a property together. I was like, what is going on? Reminds me of, oh wow, this is way more than when her brother died. Jesus. So she didn't take the body at all. It was that connection to the stone, I think. That's really crazy. I can't... Wow, I didn't see that coming.
You have no idea how dangerous you are. You're supposed to be a myth. Capable of spontaneous creation. This is chaos magic, Wanda. That makes you
Chaos magic.
the Scarlet Witch.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my god. What? Dude. Come the fuck on. There is so much to unpack here. Holy shit, this episode. I fucking loved it, okay? I think I should be very clear, but holy shit, okay. Where to begin with this madness? Where to begin with all of this? I guess I'll start off with the opening, because that, to me, was the most interesting, because we start off with Salem, Massachusetts. I'm thinking, the Salem witch trials? And then it comes to find out the people that are accusing her of being a witch are also witches, but apparently she's being accused of breaking the rules. We don't know exactly what she did. At least they're not telling us within this what exactly she did to break said rules, but she just bent it to her power, and she drained the life out of everybody that was there, including, I guess, the lead, woman who she took that little brooch or whatever that thing is off her, that little pin, that little whatever pin. It doesn't matter, not the point. But that's where she got it. But she killed all of them just by basically just using her own powers and then twisting them, attacking her to then draining their essence, I guess. I don't know. But oh my gosh. Okay. Interesting way to start out. So then we jump into where Agatha is confronting Wanda and trying to figure out how she made the hex, how she built this reality. Because, I mean, it's some pretty fucked up magic, apparently. Because according to her, this is insane. So then we go through a Christmas Carol, in a sense, where we go through some of the timeline of Wanda. Stuff we've never seen before. And stuff that people have theorized. I've, of course, liked those theories and been following along with other theories and thinking of my own stuff. And some of those things actually came to fruition. Some things didn't. Let's go through some of these big moments that really stood out. And I think we'll just go in order of it. And then we'll get to, of course, that big mid-credit scene or whatever. Wow. Okay. Because a lot of fucking questions. So we first see the moment, unfortunately, where she loses her parents, and it's just her and her brother. They were watching different sitcoms, and then while she's watching the Dick Van Dyke Show, you see some of the similarities that she was building when she built the hex. And so things that were happening on the Dick Van Dyke Show that she was watching as everything went to shit and her parents died, and then, of course, here comes Stark Industries bomb or whatever to land in the living room. We see the similarities. Like, I was instantly remembering stuff that they had done on the first episode of WandaVision that really matched up with this Dick Van Dyke Show episode they were watching. Pretty horrific stuff. That also, this deconfirms, because people were theorizing and talking about, saying, oh, this is her parents, during the commercials, the woman and the man that we would see throughout in different commercials. These are her parents. They're not. They're not her parents. Very interesting. I thought that was going to be a easy one to confirm, because, I mean, Agnes is Agatha. This should also be like that too. Apparently not. But who are they? So, unfortunately, that happens, but that wasn't enough. And so then we go into Hydra. But for her, she's like, we wanted to change the world. And the way she said that, I'm like, kind of sounds like Ultron a little bit. But then she gets in front, and apparently no one has survived this before. To me, this was the most interesting thing because it hinted at something and showed a brief glimpse, very hard to see, but a brief glimpse at the Scarlet Witch herself. So she gets in front of Loki's scepter, and she's able to pull the stone and break the case, and then there's the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone enhances her power, essentially, and that's how she's able to foresee her, because she has a new suit, because they've been hinting at a new suit with some of the posters. Like, you see her and Vision and the different televisions stacked up or whatever, and then you see brief shots of, like, a new suit for her. And so then you see a brief shot of it, and then it goes away. But on the footage they were watching back, it was just showing her walking in and then on the ground. So all of that is completely out of... I don't know how that happened. Maybe it was just too fantastic. The cameras couldn't pick it up. I have no idea how that worked. But, and then she's continuing to watch sitcoms as she was there. And then when she's in the Avengers facility or whatever, I forget the exact wording of it. And I was wondering about the timeline of it. It seems like this is, of course, after Age of Ultron, maybe before Civil War. Maybe that's when this, in that little scene in her room where Vision walked in and they're talking. They're watching Malcolm in the Middle. Bryan Cranston, cool to see Bryan Cranston being on there. I would love him to be in the MCU. Side note, but anyways, so they have a little talk about that, and he says, I haven't felt lost because I've never loved someone to lose or whatever. Like, he was really diving into, of course, he's unique, so his perspective is a little different than anybody else's in terms of a normal life like hers, but her life has been pretty traumatic, pretty messed up. Losing her parents early on, and then losing her brother in the process of them finally realizing we can use our powers for good. And when her brother died and everything, and the explosion, she falls to her knees screaming. That reminded me of when she built the house, which we'll get to in a second. So then we jump to the sword facility. Now this is where a lot of people were talking about, we're going to see from her perspective, she stole the body. Now, I'm trying to remember back. Maybe they didn't technically say that she did, but maybe Hayward implied it? maybe he implied it. I'm not really sure. Is it Hayward or Haywood? Hold on, let me double check that because I want to make sure I get these fucking names right. Because I mean, this guy is a little piece of shit. He's fucking sneaky as hell. Let's see here. We also didn't see any continuation of Monica at all at this. Let's see. I'm looking. Where is it at? Yeah, Hayward. Yeah, Hayward. I wanted to double check that because I was like, if it's Haywood, I'm gonna feel like a fucking idiot. I'm gonna feel like a fucking idiot. So Hayward. So we see this guy. We see this dude talking to Wanda. I'm thinking, okay, so he did not disclose any of this information, that they had a conversation, because all we were seeing was her running into the facility. He was showing the other sword agents. She ran to the facility, and then she broke in and flew down to where Vision was. Not once did he bring up, oh, we had a little conversation, and I said it was okay once she got down there to look at Vision or whatever and see for herself, and she said that she couldn't sense him or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, this is harsh. This is harsh and horrible. Like, my gosh, like, dark. Now, maybe the word's not so much harsh, but like, it's really messed up. Like, the person she had the person she had remaining in her life that she really cared about to that level, she can't sense him anymore. That's pretty messed up, you know. And so she drives to Westview, and she had a house, like she had land. She had plans with her and Vision. Her and Vision were on a property, like, they owned it. They were going to grow old together. She went inside, and there was no, like, inside the barrier of where the house was, and she literally just created the house, and then just basically transformed the whole entire city into her reality of a sitcom. And then she created Vision because of the Mind Stone affected her. I think that was so interesting that that's how she created Vision. That's why it seemed, because, I mean, if you think back on when Vision broke through the barrier, pieces of him were flying off and flying back into the Hex, because that's where he was created. That's where he actually is from, is within what she created. It's not because the body was dying. I mean, the body was dying, but it wasn't actually Vision. That's why he doesn't have any memories of what happened before the events of his death, because that's not actually Vision. It's her creating a version of Vision to live with and to have a family, because that was the whole point of why she had this piece of land, because her and Vision were going to grow old together, or at least she was going to grow old, I guess. Maybe, I don't know how fast she would age, because she's a witch. Maybe she'd find a way to keep herself, because I don't know how old Vision would end up being, maybe forever. So who knows? But that's not the point. The point is they had a life they were going to be basically building together and having their little home. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. So she created it. Now, then we see Agatha in her full get-up with the kids. And she calls her the Scarlet Witch, and then it cuts the fucking credits. I'm like, you pieces of shit. And then I was like, okay, I want to wait around, because there was a mid-credit scene in the last episode. Let's see. And there thankfully was. I'm like, if there's not anything else, White Vision. Holy shit. White Vision. What the fuck is going on? This is actually Vision. And now we have two Visions, basically. We have two Visions. We have the Vision she created that isn't technically Vision, and then we have the real Vision as White Vision. Okay, I mean, when Hayward was talking, I think it was the episode before, I think he had mentioned something about, it's time to launch. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I did not suspect White Vision. Not once did I think, oh, he's going to bring forth White Vision. Because I thought Vision was in the Hex and was transformed like everybody else, and he has no idea, no memory of everything because he died or whatever. So then when she brought him into the Hex, he just was put back together, and he doesn't have his memory of anything prior to the Hex. But now they're confirming, no, it turns out this Vision never had those memories, because it's not even Vision. It's something that she created because of her like basically fusion with like part of the Mind Stone, essentially, where it enhanced her abilities, essentially. Apparently that's what Agatha said, enhanced her abilities. But she's something about chaotic magic or something. Like, so she is the Scarlet Witch. So it's been talked about for a while, because I was thinking about that. As soon as she said Scarlet Witch, I'm like, holy shit, they fucking said it. But then I'm like, they've never used that word before. They've never called her that, because they even brought that up early on. Hayward's like, so she doesn't have like a name or whatever, or like a code thing or whatever, like Iron Man or whatever. She doesn't have a name. Now she does. Scarlet Witch. And so it had been talked about for a while that maybe Marvel didn't have the rights to use that name, so that's why they never called her the Scarlet Witch. Maybe that was true, but maybe they got the rights, and now they're making it work to where we're building her up to becoming Scarlet Witch. She's not there yet, but she's about to. I'm hoping in the next episode, hoping that the fucking finale, next episode, we will see that suit in full reveal, and she's the Scarlet Witch. Excited. I fucking love this show. It's too good, man. It's too good. And I like the fact, too, that this wasn't really a sitcom per se. I mean, I guess you could say in a sense, because it was playing through all her, the past or whatever, but it's really dark. But we saw all of the parallels of why she created the Hex in the first place, in terms of why it's a sitcom. Because the whole point, Agnes is trying to figure out how she did it. Well, she did it out of pain, but she was forming it to something that brought her happiness. Like, when she was a kid, we saw her parents die, but right before, they're watching a sitcom. She's in the Hydra facility. She's watching another sitcom. She's there in Avengers facility watching a sitcom with a Vision who comes in and watches and actually laughs at something in it. He's like, oh, that was funny. She's like, yeah, it was funny. Yeah. It really goes to show, and I like the fact that they really enhanced on that, because all we had heard from in Age of Ultron was Pietro and her explaining the story, what happened to their parents, they both have parents, that they were just, the bomb just came in, like everything went to hell, their parents died. Not once have I mentioned of a sitcom, because it wasn't thought of, I don't think, back then. But the fact is, they made it work. They made it work, and my God, this fucking show. I can go on forever. I'm not going to keep going on, because I'm going on for fucking ever already. I love this show. It is fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens. It actually hurts me a little, because like we only have one episode left. It fucking sucks. But at least we've had a fantastic journey so far, and hopefully they stick the landing in the finale. I mean, every episode to me so far has been fantastic in its own way. And I love how this episode played out, and I love how it was confirming things and raising more questions. What the hell is the White Vision going to do? All this kind of... I love just like how each episode, for the most part, confirms things, basically throws your theories out the fucking way because you're incorrect, and then it raises more and more questions. I think that's the beauty in what they should be doing. Because if not, then why are you watching the show, and why are you invested? If you're not getting stuff confirmed, if you're not getting theories that you had thrown out because you're completely wrong because it's actually this, and you're like, what? And then the big reveal of like White Vision, that is what makes this show work, and what makes good shows in general work. So please stick the landing next week. Please stick the landing for I'm guessing the series finale, because I don't think there's going to be a season 2 of this, unless it's more of a Scarlet Witch show, like this spins off into a Scarlet Witch show. But then there's been rumors and stuff about her getting her own film after this to really highlight the Scarlet Witch after this whole event, where we assume she becomes a Scarlet Witch. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm done rambling now. I'm actually done rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. What'd you guys think of this episode of WandaVision? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, let me know in the comment section below, guys. Talk to you guys soon.